Are you ready, Prashantika?
Go for it.
Okay, today we are going to talk about taboos.
Yeah, okay. Go for it.
Okay,
Ready.
just tell me whatever you feel when you hear the word taboos.
I think people who interesting. I feel like people who just don't know enough about something, so they consider it a taboo. People who I feel like this is a very conservative connotation attached to taboos, right? So in my opinion, it's just that if you don't have enough knowledge about something, you will tend to judge it, and therefore you're not open-minded about different ways of looking at things in life.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I
it's,
think taboos are basically that. It's not being open-minded enough. It's not having enough knowledge about a particular situation.
but what about if some people have some beliefs and they just go with it, and in other words we call it a taboo? Or what about it?
You mean
Is it-
blind faith?
Blind faith? I don't know.
That leads to taboos. Like some communities encourage blind faith. People end up following things without logically thinking, and therefore they consider other things to be taboos. Taboos are something that is not normal, right? Only if something is not normal or therefore not accepted by the society, they consider it to be taboo. So what's taboo in my country may not be taboo in someone else's country.
Cultural relativism.
Yeah. Cultural relativism.
Yeah. So
And opposite of nationalism.
explain the terms. Okay, cultural relativism is. I'll explain cultural.
ठीक.
Cultural. Oh my god. Cultural relativism. So cultural relativism is like, in simple words, like I might think something else of something, and you might think something else of the same thing.
And it's
You
like
get-
you
yeah.
respect each other's opinion and you
Yeah.
learn from each other to bring out the best solution. Nationalism is you take pride in your own opinion or your own ethnicity or culture or community, so much so that you disrespect every other ethnicity or opinion or values or beliefs that's different from you.
It's like you pick up something, and whatever you pick up, you feel that is the only right thing, and other things are wrong.
Are wrong, yeah. Nationalism has a lot to do with your ego, your pride, your lack of knowledge, your stupidity in general.
So it might even be like lack of knowledge.
Yeah, lack
Is
of
it?
knowledge. Yeah.
Or sometimes even lack of openness to learn about new things.
Yep, that's
Sometimes
ego,
it's like a closed tiffin, a closed box. Like you can't put anything in anything's inside that, and if you open the box, there are lots of things that you can put in.
I did not get that.
Arey,
I
it's
think
like
it
it's like a mind. It's like it's a box. You have a closed box, and you try to put things in. You'll never be able to put things inside a closed box, right?
Yeah.
And if you open the lid,
Okay, yeah.
open the box,
Huh.
things can enter inside that box. And you can even have a net to the box. So it's like you can have a filter to the box. Do you get it? So you accept whatever you like. You question things when you open the box. It's not just being open to everything.
You question it, and even if you don't believe in it, you at least respect someone
Yeah,
else's
accept it
opinion.
for other people.
Yeah, that's cultural relativism.
Do you understand the box thingy, sir?
I think I
With
did.
the filter?
I understood with the filter.
Huh?
Yes.
Okay, so does the taboo or this thing vary from age to age?
What we've been
Where do we get this from?
I think it's the way we've been brought up. So what we see at home, family values and all those things make a lot of like taboos. That's a big thing. Then secondly is our education system, because we've not been taught to be open-minded in schools. We've not been taught to be
Yeah.
open, like disagreeing with respect, because disagreeing and questioning and things is very important. And I think in our culture, in just general, we've been taught that if you disagree, especially your elders or like the norm of the society, you're being disrespectful. And that is so wrong in so many ways, and from there is the taboo system comes in. So taboos are basically just something that is not normal, therefore it's not accepted, so you think that's wrong. But it could be, it's just is just another way of looking at a situation.
Okay. So, the way we are brought up, our school plays a big role in setting up the taboos, right?
Yeah, brought up
Our teachers.
and education. These are two most important things that literally shape your personality, and it's very messed up.
Oh, what if I'll put you in a situation. What if see, you're brought up in a way, and you're sent to a school, and then that teacher, there's one single teacher who asks you to be open-minded. But at your home, you're completely strict with. Your family asks you to stick with the things that they have taught. So what will you follow? Will you follow the new teacher, the teacher who is teaching you to be open-minded, or will
See,
you
this is
follow?
where the child starts to question everything, right?
Hmm.
Once you get that trigger, once you understand that okay, what's been taught to you is probably not right, or there's a different way of looking at it, then that's when your question starts everything. So ultimately, you learn from the teacher's values. You try to apply it in your personal life, and that's how you grow as a person. I don't think so you can rebel against what's been taught to you at home. You cannot, because
But how can we change the taboos at home? It's a very hard thing, right?
you can't. Trust me, first-hand experience. I don't think so. You can, but you can definitely. Okay,
But-
at least with your generation, you can try to do your
Yeah,
best. You can definitely try, and if you can't, people say charity begins at home. If you fail there, then you go ahead.
What charity? Okay.
People say charity begins at home, so you start preaching the things at home for yourself. But then if that is not working for you, then you go ahead and you try to change it in the society. I don't think so. If things are, if I'm failing to do things if I'm failing to create a change in my immediate surrounding, then I will definitely move on to the society. I don't think so I can change because even why are things not changing at home? Probably because they've been brought up with some certain mindset, right? And it's difficult to change mindset of people. It can't happen overnight. But if they see you, but I feel like if they see you make a bigger change in the society, then they can learn from it. Does it make sense?
Okay, kind of.
Like
If-
if you're not able to make that change at home, but you're able to make that change in your community, then they
Slowly-
will learn from it. Yeah.
Slowly you can change the mind of people at home.
Yeah. Hopefully.
So you start with yourself.
Yeah.
Then you
yourself.
spread it to your friends.
Yeah. Your immediate surroundings. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not easy. People
How
are
do you
very,
instill this in your parents? It's a very hard thing, right?
you don't.
Or is it the time they like? It's like if I stand for something and my parents disagree with it, and I still stand for it. With time, slowly the scab comes out.
I would like to believe that's true, and I think in some cases it does happen. But I think it's not easy because people are very adamant on what they think and because that's how they've been brought up. And as human nature, we tend to defend whatever we know. So that is the reason why they don't want to change.
Okay. What if? Oh, is defending what we know being a sign of not being open?
Kind of, yeah.
But-
you should
but,
always be open to learning new things and
Yeah,
standing
yeah.
correct for what you believe. Standing correct,
Yeah.
if you're wrong.
Having a stand.
Yeah. But either way, you should not think of whatever you know as the absolute gospel truth, and that everybody else around you is wrong, and that this is what you should spread in the society. Because from that's where the taboos generate from. It's an ideological difference.
So it's not easy to change the minds.
No, it's definitely not an overnight thing. I do not. It can't, because people are they're so stubborn about their ideologies, and if you have to tell them why they are wrong, you can't tell someone why they are wrong. In such cases, they have to realize their mistake, and it's because they have such an ego about whatever they know.
What is ego?
Ego is insecurities. We discussed this, right?
Yeah. So we'll still give them a recap.
I think it's insecurities. It's like if you don't know enough and you think you know enough,
Yeah.
So it's that gap. That gap is insecurity.
It's like some layers on your body which
it's
don't
toxic. It's
let people see what's inside.
yeah.
Huh?
It's very toxic. It's
Did you
harmful for
picture
the
this?
yeah layer on your body that and you don't let others
Like
see.
yeah, layers on your body.
And I think it's very toxic for the person themselves. Like they are the ones who are losing out on it. If you are having taboos, if you are having a very regressive mindset, you are losing out on a lot of things. So I think, and it's only when the person has to realize it themselves. Like I have tried it, and I don't think it's going to work unless they become a little open-minded.
And even this thing, if you pick up a belief, a new belief, and you question it, and slowly even you changed the belief.
Yeah.
What is it?
That's normal. That's normal humans in nature. That's progressing. I think you should always keep changing and improve. That's how you improve, right? That's how you grow as a person.
Yeah, you should question whatever you believe
question
also.
everything. Even what your belief should be questioned by yourself.
This happens a lot to me. Sometimes I take a stand for something in my mind, and then I question it in a way, and then I stop then I step back and then I think over it and then it changes. But then it shows that I'm not standing up for something. What is it? I get confused over here.
Standing? You mean taking a stand for
Yeah.
something and then
thinking, overthinking, and then I change the values, and then
I think that's why your ethics and your moral compass comes into play. If I take a stand for something as long as I think it's ethically, morally right, and also that I know others will not take a stand for it because of their conservative values. And
What?
as far as
you know that others will not take a stand.
yeah, that's another reason why I take a stand for a lot of things, because I know nobody else will, because of how they've been brought up and the way of their thinking and their beliefs and values. But at the same time, I also keep questioning of what I know and how can I get better. Ultimately, to take a better stand in the situation. I just confused
Okay, be clear with your thoughts.
But I don't know how to explain this. That was the best explanation ever. Like I take a stand for something as long as I know it's morally and ethically right, according to me, and I know that nobody else will take a stand for it because of their conservative values. But at the same time, I keep questioning of what I know and what I believe in, so that I can ultimately take a better and a stronger stand on something.
Okay.
Next
Oh,
question.
see this.
Yeah.
Okay, so
You just took out a book.
yeah.
Today's World Book Day, by the way.
Huh?
Today's World Book Day.
Huh?
Yeah. That's my happy
Okay.
birthday.
Okay. So read this.
Which one?
This.
The entire paragraph?
It's still here.
What do you want me to read?
Read this. So
Doubt
this is
everything
wait.
all the
Read it. I'll tell them. So this is page a little chapter from this book called "You're creative. You're more creative than you think. The art of thinking creatively." So in this, Prashantika will read a page, and this is all what we are talking about. So this is like relatable.
Okay.
Yes.
Doubt everything all the time. There's a guy called Richard who doubted traditional mathematics. That's a pretty big doubt. He created a new maths called Feynman diagrams. I think I learned about it. Doubt was central to thinking of Feynman, a Nobel Prize winning American, famous for his work on quantum mechanics and particle physics. He doubted the ability of traditional maths to describe the new subatomic world and therefore invented a new maths, now the most widely used in that field. People were using old math to describe a new world and it did not work. He doubted everything constantly because he realized if we did not have a doubt, we would not have new ideas. He believed that nothing was absolutely certain.
Okay, this could be enough.
Yeah.
What did you?
And there's a quote behind it. Doubt is not a pleasant condition, but certainty is absurd.
Explain it. What do you understand?
having a doubt is obviously not something. It's not a comfortable feeling, right? Like if you're doubting something, that means you overthink about the situation. But if you absolutely know something, like that is to be certain, then that's a very absurd or a very strange feeling also, because in this world where nothing is certain, where everything is changing, you know how they say change is constant, doubt is a better fit than being certain. It's better to be doubtful than to be certain.
So is it like, but yeah, you can we can contradict also, but is it like better to be clear or
Having doubts doesn't mean that you're not clear. Having doubts just means you're trying to analyze the situation and you're trying to learn about it more, so that you can take a better stand on it.
it's like a shaky camera, and yeah, it's like a shaky camera, and you're questioning why is it shaking, and then you find a way so the frame goes smoothly.
Okay, I'm not into a tech, but
So the thing is like shaky camera, and you're questioning why is it shaking, and then you find a way, and then it goes in a smooth way. The camera doesn't shake then.
okay, that was what you. Yeah, I got it. No?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's what it meant. That having a doubt is the way to create a change for a better world. Like how he did in his field, you can do it in your field, and everyone should have that kind of have the courage to question.
Yeah, it takes courage.
It takes courage, especially if you're not brought up like that. You have been brought up in a society where it's like respect your elders, do not disagree with them, all those things. It's just so wrong to say that. But in that kind of an upbringing, you have to have the courage to question and even go against the norms, because there's a lot of stigmas to it.
Yes. So guys, so in short, doubt everything, question everything, and then get your own values
Yeah.
and respect each other's values.
Yeah, respect every opinion, even if it's very different from yours, and try to learn from it. That's like the key to it. We need to take the best from everyone to become a better person.
And keep your boxes open. Yeah.
Yep, that's right.
Okay. Thank you guys.
Thank you. See you all.
Thank you guys for listening to Podcast Thingy, and it was a good session, Prashantika. Thank you.
Thank you, Parth. Are you going to give me green tea after this?
No green tea.
What?
Hey, no green tea.
Okay, bye.
Warm water. Warm water with turmeric.
We have low production, by the way. Warm water, no green tea.
I can give warm water and haldi.
Hey, you have. That's what mom asked me to drink, by the way.
Yeah, arey have haldi. It is
I drink haldi though. I'm stealing your piri piri, by the way. Thanks.
piri. Hey, there's nothing in it. You can take mustard.
Alright, mustard. There you go. Mustard and warm water. Thank you, Parth.
Good combination. See you guys.
See you.